Billionaire sees homeless twin girls at his father's grave. Their story changes his life forever. The morning was gray, the kind that seemed to carry the weight of the world in its overcast silence. Cold dew clung to the grass at Rosewood Memorial Cemetery as Garrett Langston, billionaire tech mogul and founder of Langston Innovations, stepped out of his sleek black Bentley. Dressed in a tailored overcoat, he moved with the quiet elegance of a man who had everything money could buy, except peace. He visited his father's grave once a year. No entourage, no headlines, just him, a bouquet of white lilies, and memories too heavy to carry. This was his ritual. His father, James Langston, had been a mechanic, rough hands, tougher love, and a heart far too generous for the life he'd lived. Garrett owed him everything, and yet he had never said thank you the way he wished he had. But this morning was different. As Garrett walked down the gravel path toward the Langston family plot, he noticed something unusual. Two small figures huddled together beside his father's headstone. Twin girls, no older than 8 or 9, dressed in mismatched coats and threadbare scarves. One of them clutched a torn teddy bear, the other held a cracked photo frame. They didn't see him at first. They were kneeling, whispering, as if talking to the stone. Garrett paused, hidden behind a large tree. Something tugged at him, a strange mix of curiosity and concern. Then he heard it. "Please tell him we're sorry we couldn't bring flowers, Mommy used to bring them here." The other girl added softly, "We didn't mean to fall asleep, Grandpa James." Garrett's breath caught. Grandpa James? He stepped forward slowly. The girls startled, clutching each other as he approached. Up close, he could see the dirt on their hands, the hollowness in their cheeks, and the weariness far too old for their years. "Hi," he said gently, crouching to their level. "I'm Garrett. James Langston was my father. Did you know him?" The girls exchanged glances. He used to give us food when Mommy brought us here," the one with the teddy bear said. "He called us his little sunflowers." Garrett's heart twisted. His little sunflowers. It all came rushing back. Years ago, his father had mentioned a young mother who visited the cemetery often. "Brings her girls to see someone she lost," he'd said. "Kind lady. Reminds me that even grief can be beautiful." He never mentioned they were homeless. "Where's your mom now?" Garrett asked, his voice catching. She got sick," the other girl whispered. 2 weeks ago. She told us to wait for her, but she didn't come back." Garrett felt a chill deeper than the morning air. He took a breath. "What are your names?" "I'm Lila." "She's Rose." Lila and Rose. Like flowers, like sunflowers. "Come with me," he said gently. "We're going to find out what happened to your mom." Over the next few hours, Garrett made calls, pulled every string, and used every connection. He found their mother, Maria, listed under Jane Doe at St. Matthew's Hospital, pneumonia, undernourished, unconscious. No insurance. No ID. Just a woman clinging to life with 2 daughters sleeping at a cemetery. By evening, Maria was moved to a private room under Garrett's name. The girls were bathed, fed, and wrapped in clean clothes that actually fit. But Garrett didn't stop there. He drove the girls to one of his penthouses, one he hadn't visited in years. It was modern, cold, clinical, until the girls filled it with giggles and the sound of small feet echoing down marble hallways. Rose found the piano and pressed random keys. Lila asked if the giant windows showed the stars. For the first time in years, Garrett smiled, genuinely, not for cameras or board meetings. He brought in a therapist, a teacher, a pediatrician. He set up a trust. But more than anything, he sat with them. He listened. He read them bedtime stories, burned grilled cheese sandwiches, and helped with puzzles he didn't understand. 2 weeks later, Maria woke up. When Garrett visited her in the hospital, she looked at him with wary, sunken eyes. "Why are you helping us?" He sat beside her. Because my father helped you when I didn't even know. Because you're girls, they visit his grave with more love than I ever did. Maria broke down. Years of struggle, pride, and exhaustion poured out in tears. Garrett didn't say a word. He just handed her a photo, a picture Lila had drawn of Grandpa James, the angel. Months passed. Winter melted into spring. Maria recovered, slowly, and with her daughters in school and a roof over their heads, she began working part-time at a community center Garrett quietly funded. But the real change wasn't in the girls, or Maria. It was in Garrett. He stopped showing up late to his own life. Board meetings ended earlier. His assistant noticed he smiled more. His driver was surprised when Garrett started riding in the front seat. He spent weekends volunteering, showing up at shelters with groceries, blankets, books. The press caught wind, of course. Billionaire's secret life of giving. But Garrett never gave interviews. When asked, he simply said, "Someone reminded me what love looks like when you have nothing left to give." One rainy afternoon, on the anniversary of James Langston's passing, Garrett returned to the cemetery. This time, he wasn't alone. Maria stood beside him, strong and steady. Lila and Rose each held a sunflower, placing them gently by the grave. "I think he'd be proud," Maria said softly. Garrett nodded. "I hope so." As they turned to leave, Rose tugged on his coat. "Can we call you Uncle Garrett now?" He knelt, tears threatening to spill. "You can call me whatever you want, sweetheart." "Okay," Lila grinned. "Then you're Uncle G." They walked away hand in hand, leaving behind a grave, but carrying a legacy. Not of money, or success. But of kindness passed down like heirlooms. From a mechanic with rough hands, to a billionaire with a mended heart, to two little girls who reminded the world that love doesn't need wealth, it just needs a place to grow.